All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, veterans, and all you amazing people out there who love you some veterans. Hey, welcome to another episode here on Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and we're here with Dan Hurd as our veteran co-host. He's pedaling across the United States to build a veteran suicide awareness. Stick with us, folks. You do not want to miss this episode. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I don't have a show number because this show is really was just hip pocket by chance. Our co-host today was just pedaling through town, through Stillwater, and we got a chance to interview him. Dan, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, you are only the second guest that we've had actually in the Treehouse studio.
Really?
Yeah, everyone else is a phone call. So I'm glad you got to be here, man.
Me too.
It's been a good time talking to you and getting to know you.
It's been a great time, and I think seeing it now and getting this time that we've been hanging out, the future phone calls will be even better.
Yeah, they will. They will be. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna have a conversation here with Dan and talk about his great effort that he's putting out there in one pedal at a time. Dan, first, give us some background on you as far as your service, where you're from. We're going to have you on and do a bigger episode down the road, literally. But for now, with the little bit of time we have, because you got to move on, just kind of give everybody kind of the highlights, and then let's move into what you're really about here.
Yeah, so I'm a Navy veteran. I served from 2007 to 2011 from Massachusetts, and did 2 deployments in the Navy. So, it was an interesting time in my life, and I enjoyed a lot of it. I wasn't able to re-enlist because of the downsizing that they were doing during that time, and got out, and I dealt with some issues. Ended up trying to commit suicide 3 times, and I was already planning a 4th, and a friend ended up getting me on a bicycle.
What, I've heard a lot of people talk about, bike riding, road bikes, changing their life. How did it change your life, man, going from wanting to commit suicide for the 4th time, which we're going to talk about on another episode, I hope. How did that change you? What was the spark, man?
So originally it was just more so just my buddy getting me to go out. He had tried for many years to get me to ride bikes. I rode a Harley, so I thought that I was above cycling. I did start out on road bikes, but biking in general, depending on what type of biking you want to do, a lot of people around here do gravel biking. In Colorado, they do a lot of mountain biking. Right. So it just depends on your terrain and depends on what you're comfortable doing. But yeah, any type of cycling is great. For me, it was road cycling. Started out at first, it was fun, but it didn't really affect me the way that it did later on. Yeah. It was actually my 3rd ride with my buddy that got me going, and I was riding his bike. I didn't even have a bike yet. And we did 166 miles in the course of a weekend on Cape Cod, and it was the last day back. We were about 40 miles away, and I was just telling him I couldn't do this. I was struggling.
Yeah.
And we stopped, and he's like, hey, man, it's one pedal at a time. It's just remember left, right, left, right. And as long as you keep that in your head, we'll be home. And sure enough, I just kept doing that. And before I knew it, we were back at the place. And that really got me to a point where it really inspired me.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, one pedal at a time stuck in my head. And that kind of carried over to my daily life. All I wanted to do was bicycle. At this point, it was the best addiction of my life. I got addicted to cycling.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a lot of getting that opportunity to get people to see what I was doing. Plus, I lost a lot of weight. I was getting healthier.
Yeah.
So I was seeing improvement in my life physically and mentally. That 4th attempt faded away. And 8 months later, I decided to 8 months later, I left on this journey of a 3-year journey to do the lower 48 states. And this is state number 36. I've been on the road now for 20 months, just over. And, yeah, about 14,000 miles. So it's been pretty amazing.
Man, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine going that long on a bike.
Yeah, no, like I tell people all the time, if you told me 2.5 years ago that I was going to bicycle, and never mind bicycle around the country, I probably would have laughed at you, because in my mind, there was no absolute reason for me to be on a bicycle.
Yeah.
But it's such a rewarding thing for me. And, it doesn't matter what it is. It's physical activity, something that engages your mind and your body. Physical and mental are just as important. You got to work on that. And, a lot of us forget to do that sometimes. And the ones that are doing it, we just got to do it a lot sometimes to stay on that positive side. If I stop riding for too long, I start feeling sad again. I'm not cured, but I found something that works for me. And, I'm showing people that. I tell my story for what I've dealt with throughout my life and my issues, and show people how, by the third suicide attempt, I really didn't think I had any purpose in this life left. Right. So to find this and be able to give other people that inspiration to talk about their stories and encourage other people to listen to other people's stories,
right.
Get that conversation going, it saves lives, and, it inspires other people to continue going. So it's like, I've been told this a lot. It's like, I'm a spark.
Yeah. That's
riding around the country, interacting with people, encouraging them to do something a little different, or just be willing to understand that there are people around them that struggle and try to do it on their own. And we just have to reach out.
Right.
And if they reach out, be willing to listen. And so much people, it's like people are saying, I'm starting little human wildfires almost. It's spreading through the communities, and people interact with people, and, it's building a better community, and it's building opportunities for people to get the help that they need. And, the more people that tell their stories, the more people that be willing to listen, the more people that it's a trickle effect. It just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's what I really hope for.
Can you, we were talking on the walk over here, about a situation that happened to you on a bridge.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. It's
an amazing story.
It's an amazing story for me. And every time I talk about it, I get a little bit emotional. But it was it was early in my journey on this trip. And, I had a woman that I just crossed over a bridge, and it was about a half mile away from that bridge. I was passing a woman, and, she acknowledged what I was doing. So I turned around, and, at this point in my journey, I wasn't really, comfortable talking about my story. But I had decided at that point that I was doing it for suicide awareness. And, as that can develop, from other people, it got more detailed and everything else. So it helped me grow. But with this woman, it was, a quick 2-minute conversation. I told her I was riding for suicide awareness, told her to have a great day, and, went on my way. Several days later, I got an email from her, saying that she wanted to say thank you for, talking to her, that she ended up going to the hospital for 3 days to get, checked out and stuff, because she was walking to that bridge to jump off of it. So it really did get, more inspirational to do this journey. And, I didn't even talk about what I was dealing with her, during our conversation, but just somebody acknowledging them, saying hello, having that quick conversation inspired her to keep going. So since then, I've had 11 people that I've crossed paths with throughout this country so far that have told me, or I've know that they were dealing with, that they were on their way to commit suicide. So 11 people there, and then 44 people on social media that have told me that they've been inspired and were on their way to go commit suicide when they were either found my page or somebody recommended them talking to me through social media, or seeing me on podcasts and, or news. And, so, 55 people are still fighting because of this journey. And so that's what keeps me going now. And has inspired me to want to do more. And, 36 states into it, I'm pretty happy with that. I would have been happy with just saving my own life, and I'm honored to be able to help other people see the light, and encourage other people to see the light.
Winning
I'll tell you
two
what, Dan,
NCAA.
if you're given people half of the perseverance and resiliency that you've got, those 55 people are lighting more fires. I'm proud of you, man. I'm honored to be here with you.
I appreciate it. You know, like I said,
Commitment. The state
it's an honor to be
or
on this
quality
journey. I
of being
started this again
dedicated
for
to a cause
my own
or
well-being. I need to
activity.
figure out my own life.
It's epitomized by the Oklahoma State Wrestling
Not that
Program.
it's forever figured out. This is just a stepping stone.
Wrestling teaches countless values utilized on and off the mat.
I think
One of
you're
these
right,
is
Dan.
honor,
I think a
which
lot
is
of,
earned on the merits of honesty,
a lot of
fairness,
veterans
and
fail
integrity.
to focus on themselves, to get to know themselves. For some of us, 200 miles on the weekend, just inside our own heads, like you said, one pedal at a time, one struggle at a time.
Yep. One thought, one moment.
Yeah,
It's all
and then,
one breath.
And the thing is, we were talking about how when you travel around, you're constantly meeting people that are getting into your life. You're getting into their lives, and those kind of I envy you, man, because you're getting the chance to talk to people from all over the country, different perspectives, different ideas of the struggle that people go through, and that develops some deep meaning that you have to have time to process it, and you're getting an excellent chance to do that. You know what I mean? 14,000 miles.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, I've had a lot of positive things happen for me. Like, again, everything that I'm doing in the last 18 months. Again, if you told me 2 years ago that I was going to do any of it, I would have told you that either I'm not qualified for it, it's not something I want to do, or anything like that. And those three things are bicycling, for one.
Yeah.
I own a nonprofit organization called the One Pedal at a Time movement now,
Right.
which is trying to get it to the point where we can help other people, including also contributing to the Mission 22 Foundation. So, trying to get these organizations to be further helpful and just being part of the movement. It takes all of us to be part of a movement. So
are you guys doing, if a veteran listens to this episode, and they're like, my brother has a bike that he doesn't ride anymore, I want to do this. Can they link up through here and start their own ride?
yeah, so they could do any through the One Pedal at a Time movement. We just started it this year, so it's still trying to work out kinks and everything. But we already have a guy that wants to be part of it for us. He's walking the country right now, and then there's other people that are also that have asked about it. We just haven't got it set up yet, but that is something that we're planning on doing soon and getting it established so that they can do their own rides and different things and raise funds for the One Pedal at a Time movement.
Now, what about now on your website? It's got like where you're at, where you've been, where you're going, right? It kind of updates.
So that's on I have two websites. It's kind of awesome, actually, but a lot of work. So, but yeah, I have two websites. My journey is documented on ridewithdanusa.com, and that's through social media as well.
Right.
So you can see my maps, where I am and where, like, what cities I'm in, at least,
Very
stop point. And then you can see my projected route, which has significantly changed throughout the journey.
Yeah.
But they can see all that. I post almost every day, so they can follow my journey about it. I stop at a lot of different places. If it's free, it's for me. And I say that because a lot of my journey, I started this journey with no savings. I planned on doing it with no savings so that I could show people that are dealing with financial and daily struggles, which is a lot of people that unfortunately commit suicide, that we can survive. And, I had to prove that to myself as well, because that was one of my issues. And, so it got to a point where I've was getting so much help from people that, I didn't, I've been on the road for 20 months now, and I've done pretty well. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people host me. Like even here in Stillwater, I have a host.
Yeah.
I have one for tomorrow night.
Right.
One of the veterans here at school. So,
Yeah.
all these things that come into play, and it's all just kind of like a trickle effect. I don't plan for it. I just meet the right people at the right time, just like walking into you type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, man, just like every veteran out there and everybody that's committed suicide or attempted it, they have so much to offer. You know what I'm saying? And you see that now, how much you have to offer.
Absolutely.
To not just veterans, man, to just to humans in general. You're a great natured dude, man. I wish you lived around here. I'd love to hang out with you. We had, like little smoke, little chat, and yeah, man, I'm glad you got on the pedals, man. I'm glad you're sticking around with us.
I am as well. And, and that's the thing is people are looking for the end goal, like the end cure to mental health, to be permanently fixed. Bicycling helps it a lot. That helps it a lot. So it just, I try to continue to stay inspired by using those things. And, but if I stop for too long, I'm going to end up being depressed again.
Right.
So it's forever fighting, but you got to learn how to deal with it.
Now, when you say stop, are you saying like, you stop and you're kind of on your own? When you stop, is it that the part of stopping, or is it you just really need, that much,
pretty much need that much endorphins to keep myself happy.
Right.
And, when I say stop, like I've been on this journey for 20 months, but I'm not riding every day. Otherwise I'd probably be done with the journey.
Yeah.
But I stop in communities. I stop in different places.
Right. Like you're doing here in Stillwater.
Yeah. Here, I'm here for a few days, but there's been other places where I've stayed for a couple weeks, where I started my nonprofit in Mobile, Alabama. I was there for 5 weeks. Okay. So, there's different places where I've stopped, but the longer I stop, the more I need to do something to keep myself going.
I got you.
Otherwise, I do deal with long-term depression. I still deal with that. But that's the thing is we learn how to have coping, and we need to tell our stories. And that's what I've learned to do is get more comfortable talking about it and getting more people to understand that it's okay to talk about it. As long as we talk about it in a casual manner, almost anybody's willing to listen. If they're not willing to listen, it's because they're probably dealing with their own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, man.
And so a lot of people just think they're blowing them off. And, unfortunately, there are people that do. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, you should assume that they're probably dealing with something if they're not willing to listen.
Right.
And, maybe they just can't handle what you're dealing with. And unfortunately, there are still people that don't understand what, veterans go through. Yeah. And, and a lot of people, I try to make them understand it doesn't matter if they're a veteran or not. A veteran will understand a little bit better, especially just being in service. There's things that, Army guys will understand better with Army guys, and I may understand some because I'm a Navy guy, but I may not understand all of it.
But as veterans, we know.
We understand it because of the brotherhood and sisterhood.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's that family. It doesn't matter if we served a day together or not, or if it was 50 years apart.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear the veteran, you're like, hey, bro, or hey, sis, what's going on?
Right. Absolutely.
Immediate family. Doesn't matter what it is. And, that's important. It's important to keep connections. Yeah. But at the same time, don't be afraid to talk to somebody that doesn't understand. Just put it in layman's terms.
Yeah.
Get your point across, but
you have to help them see it.
Yeah, and you just describe it a little easier for them so that they can link to you, so they understand the emotion of it instead. We can doesn't matter what we've dealt with in life, we can understand emotions. Yeah. It may have been different reasons those emotions happen to us, but almost anybody can understand those emotions.
Right.
And if we break it down to those simpler characteristics, you can connect to anybody.
Yeah. And that's good stuff, brother. Hey, so the maps. If you're coming through a veteran's area, can he or she link up with you and and ride a couple of 100 miles with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Just kind of chat with you. So you got people that do that?
Yes. It doesn't happen as often as I'd like. I honestly, when I tell people what I'm doing, they think of Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
My name's Dan. So even when I was in the military for the last over a decade now, my nickname's been Lieutenant Dan.
Right.
And, my new legs is my bicycle. That's my new life. And it's really given me life, which his new legs gave him new life.
Right.
So a lot of metaphors in that, but it works out really well. And so, taking all that into play, it's just, I forgot the question now.
No, about, other veterans coming and riding with
Oh,
you.
yeah. So, sorry.
No, you're good.
And so then, other people can. I've had people join me for a few days here at a time. A lot of people still have jobs and things that are going on, so they can only join me for a few days. Most I've had anybody ride with me is 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody's always welcome to join me. It's like the Forrest Gump on a bike thing.
Now where are you heading from here? From Oklahoma, you're going where?
So from Oklahoma, I'm going to Texas. I'll be there for the winter, and then I'll make my way back up through New Mexico.
I'm going to hook you up with Jared Bliss. Jared Bliss is a veteran down there, and they do a lot of cycling for veterans. I can't remember the name of the organization, but I'm going to get you guys hooked up. He'll be happy to ride with you.
All right.
And plug you into what he's got going on down there. So if you're going to be there for the winter, you guys can probably do quite a bit of veteran work. He's around the Dallas Fort Worth area.
All right. Yeah, I'll be there probably when I leave Oklahoma City.
Okay, I'll give you his information before you leave.
Okay.
So you guys get you guys hooked up. Yeah, man, that would be awesome if there were some veterans out there that got a chance to ride with you. Like you said, man, they were like, they're drawn to it to go out there with you and pedal,
mm-hmm.
and to talk about it. I mean, I don't know about the Navy. You guys probably don't road march quite, very often, but in the Army and the Marines, we would walk long distances. And I remember going on a 10, 15 mile or 20 miler and figure out like a couple of years of my life during that period. It was transformative. It hurt.
Yeah.
But it was transformative. I'm getting that's kind of the idea.
Yeah. You have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Yeah.
We push our bodies and our minds to a certain point to be able to lift or tolerate more pain for, anything. If I jumped on a bike 2 years ago and started doing exactly what I'm doing now in the mountains, I would have died the first day.
Right.
And I was like, this is not happening. But I built up the pain. I dealt with the pain as it went until I got to the point where I was like, I can climb this mountain.
Right.
And sure enough, that mountain took me 15 hours to climb. 5 hours to climb for 15 miles. So I was very slow, but I did it.
Yeah.
And I kept riding after that. So.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, dude. My legs would fall off. That's a lot.
Yeah.
How old are you, Dan?
So I'm 30 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And, just, let's see, I started in Plymouth. It started on March 5th of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Just about 14,000 miles and 36 states. It's just crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is my 98th interview.
98th.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel pretty good about that. 98. What's what are you looking forward to, man, in the future? You know what I mean? Like, what how's it looking for you? What do you see at the end? Are you planning on getting off the bike and going just like locally? What do you see in the future, man?
So I forgot to mention my third thing that I did that I didn't do before, and that was speaking engagements.
Right.
I go and speak to different places that, a lot of it right now is by chance, as I roll into places, but, I call this my training in progress. So,
Right.
I've only been doing it for a year now, but I've done quite a few speeches in different colleges and different high schools and communities throughout the Midwest and area that I've been in all year.
Right.
So I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue that. If not, I also want to potentially try to go around the world. And, this is not just a U.S. problem.
Right.
It's a world problem. And so I'm trying to hopefully be able to get sponsorships and stuff for that going, and really try to make a difference more than just here. And, obviously this journey was America's first, so doing that one first. And as that one develops and starts getting a little bit better, I can continue going.
I'm telling you, man, you came to the right place. This should have been your first interview, Heart of a Volunteer. That's what you are, man. You're in the right place. Man, I'm excited, brother. I am. And like I told you, you're going to be coming, so you're wintering over in Texas. Like I told you, I'm potentially moving to up around the Denver area.
Yep.
When I graduate in May. So we're going to have to get together when you come up through Colorado area, man.
Well,
I saw your map where you're coming through, so we're definitely going to have to link up.
And it'll be perfect timing because I should be in that area by May.
Okay.
Depending on all the season, really, how bad it actually is. But I plan on trying to get through like New Mexico in April.
Okay. Yeah. We'll sit down for another episode, man. But we'll do some more out there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And here's, let me challenge you with something, okay? Because like I said, I'm a philosopher in training, and but man, I like the profoundness of somebody just thinking of something in their mind and speaking it. While you're out there and you're pedaling around and you're thinking through these challenges that you've got, these people that you come in contact with that change your life. Take a moment to write those down and come on and share them with us. Either in something I can record, put some music on, and just use it for motivation for veterans and our civilian listeners that listen. We have a lot of civilians that love them some veterans, man. They love what we give out. You know what I mean? We've been through some tough times, and you're living proof, man, that we're out there banging it out. A lot of veterans, they do it on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And you're out there living it, just chipping away at it. And everyone needs to see that, man, because it's important. So we definitely appreciate you out there getting after it, man.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm blessed and honored to be able to do it. Blessed that I have this opportunity to save my life, and honored to help others. So
yeah. What's the plan for? I got to go to class and turn in a paper here pretty soon. But what do you got? What do you got next?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to the museum. Check out the museum here.
The wrestling museum?
No, I went to that already.
Did you?
Yeah, I went there at 9:00 this morning.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was interesting,
Yeah.
interactive, so it was pretty cool.
What about the campus, man? What do you think? You don't have to say you like it and it's the greatest campus ever. But
No.
I mean, whatever you think.
I think it's on my journey wise, it's one of the bigger campuses that I've been to.
Really? Okay.
At least while in school season, because a lot of the campuses I've been to are in the summertime.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
At least in the areas that I've been in with the big campuses, and so they aren't as busy.
Right.
So this is the busiest one I've seen.
Yeah.
I have a business degree, and it was my school. I went to University of Phoenix in Boston.
Yeah.
So my campus was the third floor of this building.
Right.
And I grew up near near Boston College and Harvard and stuff. So it's a busy campus there, but it's different here, especially being on a bike. So it was pretty cool and seeing the different things around here. I'm used to those campuses because those are home for me.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, but
And this is you'll notice like these Midwest campuses. It's like this is a land grant college, so the land was like given over for university, but it's like it's on the prairie, man. It's like there's no like mountains cutting off one side of the campus from the other. You could look across the whole thing if there wasn't so many trees and buildings.
Yeah, just go up like 50 feet, you'll see everything.
Yeah, and it's nice and smooth. They got a nice layout, and then of course we got some just top notch athletic facilities here.
Yeah, you guys do.
Baseball field going across the street over here. That's gonna be crazy.
I saw that
I'm
when I came in. I saw that, and then I saw the football stadium, but I thought that was the baseball stadium. I was like, that looks brand new. Why are they building a new one?
Yeah. Hey, this new baseball field they got over here, they're vying to try to get the like the College World Series here.
Really?
because they've got they got seating in the outfield. The old field they're coming from, it's just got a wooden wall in the back. So it's Bush League, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or weak sauce as we call it. But so they're stepping up their game.
Nice.
This thing's top notch.
Yeah, it looks
Top
pretty
notch.
intense looking.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when I move out of here, this would be a great place for a baseball player a couple of baseball players to move in, man. Got a loft up here.
I know, I saw it.
Got this here. Close to
Perfect.
the stadium. Too easy. Doing a plug. I'm doing a plug for my landlord. Got to do that sometimes.
Yep.
Get a couple of dollars off my rent.
And then, so a couple other things. So if anybody wants to follow my journey, they can check me out at ridewithdanusa.com. The nonprofit, which is 501c3, is the One Pedal at a Time movement, and they can see that at opaatmovement.com. Right now, I'm also doing a t-shirt order. So I'm ordering t-shirts for people, and the proceeds go to the One Pedal at a Time movement until December 8th.
Okay.
And it's the front of the shirt's the suicide ribbon with Live to Ride, a ride to end suicide on the front of it with a little bike infinity on it. And then on the back, it's the OPAT logo.
Okay.
So people will be able to order those until December 8th.
Can they get those on the Facebook page?
Yeah, so they can what they'll ultimately do is be able to see those on the Facebook page. I'll be sharing that until the 8th. But they'll ultimately be emailing me so I can get their information and send them their invoice for the t-shirts or t-shirt.
Okay.
And then on December 9th, I'll order the shirts, and it'll be a month after that they'll have them mailed to them.
Okay. All right, everybody. Hey, I'm gonna post all these email addresses, and you can find Dan, Ride with Dan USA, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. You do a lot of videos on YouTube?
Most of them are interviews. So even this, I'll put I'll probably do one of the university area stuff, what I did for the day, as the slideshow of photos that we'll have the background of.
Gotcha. We'll get a picture too, man.
Absolutely.
I'd like to throw a picture up and link it over to your account and all that good stuff. Man, I'm proud of you, for starters.
Thank you.
For standing back up, and getting after it. And the other thing is motivating people. That's what we do here on the show. At least we try to. And you're out there doing it, shaking people's hands, motivating people, being an example that people can see. And man, it's an honor to be here with you. And we're going to stick in touch. And if you need anything, let us know, man, because I can definitely get. We got like 15 listeners of the podcast. I'll get all 15 of them. Help us out. All right.
All right.
Plus, you're going to help us get our numbers up, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I got about 3,500 followers or so.
We'll probably get maybe 3 out of that. It'd be good. Hey, what do you got for the listeners, man? What do you got in closing for them?
Well, if anybody out there is struggling, it's important to reach out for that help. Get the help that you need. Tell people that you're struggling. The more people you tell, the more opportunities there are for help. So, and also be willing to listen to other people. We can all make an impact.
That's right, man. Dan, thank you for coming on the show, man. And stay blessed out there on the road.
Absolutely.
Stay blessed, brother.
Thank you.
And we'll stay in touch.
Thanks, Chris.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, amazing, just luck. I was going to class, and I got a text and said, hey, Dan is down here in the Student Veterans Organization. Remember, they sponsored an episode 2 episodes ago. Once again, SVO doing great things. Reached out to the podcast and said, hey, Dan's down here. He's riding across the United States to build awareness for veteran suicide and suicide across the country. We got lucky to have Dan to be able to come here and record an episode and to give his message. So follow him on Facebook, his social media. Go to the web pages. Once again, I'm going to get all this stuff on the post, but ridewithdanusa.com, and then you've got opaatmovement.com. All right, reach out and follow him and support him. Okay. Everybody be safe out there. And once again, what an amazing day. What an amazing co-host. Everybody stay blessed. All right. Peace.